welcome back. We're gonna slowly start with a new open panel. This is gonna be more about the QA and how this is a great way to enter a game development industry or like gaming industry in a whole. And today with me, I have three QAs, Petra, Sara, and Žiga. And yeah, we can go. Sara, can you tell us more about like yourself? Like, how did you start? Petra, sorry. How did you start? Like, what's your story? Like, and yeah, why QA?
So I've always been a gamer, obviously. So that's how I got into QA, and I've been with Outfit7 now for 7 months. Just recently got promoted, so yay! And yeah, we work on the same project with Sara.
So I'm Sara. We work on a new games project, My Talking Hang Islands. I've been at Outfit7 for 3 and even more years. And before I worked also as a QA into other companies, but it was not anything connected to gaming, more like web development.
Test. Yeah, hi, I'm Žiga. So I've been at Outfit for 7 years. It was a really weird story how I joined the company. I was actually a mental health psychologist before I joined. But gaming has always been my passion, and yeah, that's it.
Žiga, how does one go from mental health psychologist to like testing video games? Like, what clicked?
To be honest, I'm still asking myself the same question, Rok. There was an opportunity that came out of the blue. A good friend of mine said, "Hey, dude, I know that you're a big gamer. In your free time, would you be willing to join our company? Maybe just apply and see how the people are and so on." And I was very impressed in my first interview, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna give it a go." So then I slowly started to offboard my clients. And slowly started to say goodbye to that world. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows at the beginning, but looking back, I think that I made the right decision. And there's always, things that come very in handy from my previous life, let's say, especially now on product management side. Yeah, that's it.
Maybe that's a question. Yeah, would you like recommend this, let's say, role or like job, like to same as way as your colleague recommended this to you? Would you recommend somebody else the like QA and testing games and so on?
You mean from my previous job?
No. Maybe to rephrase the question, would you recommend that somebody chases this career path that goes into this gaming industry?
From QA and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at least from my side, I always say that the quality assurance is somewhat of a industry's, soft belly. You don't have to have a degree at, for example, programming or something. You just need to have a keen eye for attention and be a gamer. That really helps. So for sure, that would be, if I would go, if I would be now a young teenager or something and wanted to get myself into the industry, that would be my first, let's say, entry point in my mind. Yeah.
Petra, can you like share with us like how was your like journey or like decision making or like what brought you to like say this industry, like because now you're still fresh, like you said 7 months, and yeah, what was your like thought process?
So I grew up with an older brother, so gaming, of course, it goes hand in hand. So I've been exposed to gaming from a very, very young age. So just my first job, my first real job was actually in gaming retail. So I always wanted to get close to this. You know, I love watching speedruns. I watch Twitch. I game. You know, it just all of the whole shebang, right? So a friend of mine started working at Outfit7, I think 2.5 years before I did, and he told me a lot about what a great community it was, just working in game development. The people are like us, etc. So of course, you know, it was like, I really want to do this. I really want to give it a shot. Just see how it is. And eventually I did. It did take me a little while to work up the courage because it was a little bit daunting not having, you know, a diploma in programming or any kind of particular gaming background. So yeah, I eventually took the shot and it worked out pretty well for me, I would like to say. So yeah.
And what did you did? Like, how did you prepare, like, for an interview or like, yeah? What was your what did you do like to get this job? Like, can you give us like, you know, step by step, you know, step 1, step 2?
Step 1, game. No, but because I watch a lot of speedruns, you know, you see a lot of dissections. People go deep so they can break the game essentially. So, you know, of course, that kind of led me to it. So there's people just looking up how the maps look, where they can break it, you know, just every little bit of anything they can find in the game. So that kind of gives you this thought of like, okay, so maybe I can use this. I've been watching speedruns for like 8-9 years now. I've gotten actually a lot of knowledge from this, and I can probably use it now. And I did, so that was actually how I prepared. Just watch more speedruns, find more obscure bugs, and that was it. And I kind of used that for my technical interview.
Oh, that's so cool. Which is your favorite game to watch the speedruns of?
Anything by From Software, of course. So Dark Souls, probably. That was like what got me into it. Although I did have a stint with I Want to Be the Boshi, where it was a random game that had a lot of like these frame perfect jumps you had to do. So it was a riot.
Cool. What about you, Sara? You said that you switched from like different like tech, let's say, tech branch to gaming. Like how was somebody that maybe is coming from like some non-gaming field coming into the gaming? Like how does that feel? Like what are differences? And yeah, what was your story?
My story. At first, when I started my first job as QA, I didn't even know what QA does exactly. I knew about testing games, but testing, but that was it. So I did some courses. I researched on the internet, and then when I switched jobs, it was not so hard going from web to games for me. Because this really suits me in terms of, you know, at Outfit we are not just testers. We are really valued as giving feedback, challenging new features, that kind of stuff, and this is really for me, I think. So it was not hard.
Can you tell more about that? Like, what comes with? You said like that. It's not just about testing, but what else like do you do day to day?
So QA is, I would say, in the heart of everything. We communicate and we work with a lot of different departments, programmers, product, even marketing, and we really know the game we work on. So we have a value in this company, and our feedback also counts. So this is, I would say this is really important, and this is even why QA is such a great thing to start at if you want to go into gaming.
So, because you see all of the, let's say, aspect of the game, you're involved in the process. It's really good, jumping point. Maybe Žiga, can you like you transitioned from QA, right, to being a product manager. How was that transition? Like, was it natural? Like, or how did that happen?
Yeah, so the transition for me was actually very organic. I actually I actually needed to have a couple of kicks in my ass to go there, because I was always like, hey, I want to finish this project and I want to finish this project. There were like several really cool opportunities for me on QA, and I took them really seriously. So then, one day my boss, my senior VP Ante Odic, came to me and said, dude, how about if you would come join my team? And I was like, look, Ante, I really appreciate it, but I still need to finish this console porting thing, and after that we can talk. So after that, he actually came again, and we sat down, we were discussing. It's not like I wasn't interested in the role, in the position, but it was like I still felt like that I have a lot of challenges left on QA, especially when we were going, working with external studios and so on. And I got a little team to manage and so on. So that was really cool. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned, it was really organic, and I never looked back.
Did you had any like other possible positions like that you would maybe switch to a developer or?
For me, the developer part was never in cards. I don't have the expertise for that. I never had even a remote interest to develop code. I have high respect for people that do, however, and I am always snooping around developers and artists and so on to see how they do stuff. It's really, really interesting. But like I mentioned, my expertise lies elsewhere. And I basically played to my strength and didn't want to, learn something that it would take me quite a long time at my age, let's say, right? It would be a big investment for me. So then, the product was simply the best way for me to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Going back to you, Petra. Can you maybe like tell us like what's the difference between, let's say, playing games or maybe watching speedruns and then actually like doing the quality assurance on games? How does that differ?
So, well, the similarity is you have to go through the game a lot. But it's very different because you're very methodical in the way you do it, right? You write test cases, you talk to the developer, you talk to the artist, you think of every asset that's going to be in the game. So it's a lot of method, and you have the inner workings of the game. So speedrunning is methodical, but you don't know the game. Well, here you have access to anyone that's working on it, and you have to work with them because this is essentially how you test, how you help them make a better product in the long run. And it's very expected of you as well as a QA at Outfit7 to help, to work with game design, to really give that feedback because you play the game so much that you really know when something's going to work and when it's not going to work. But it's, I know a lot of people think it's very, very monotonous, which I know it can be for some, but it's so methodical and you have so much access to all of the knowledge from the other people, the other departments, that I think it breaks it up in that way because you're really making the game. You're not just sitting there and testing it, right? You're actually working on it and helping to shape it. So, yeah.
So the fact that you have knowledge about the inner workings of a game, are you then maybe biased to some aspect of the game?
Yes, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm more technically oriented, so of course I lean more towards understanding the code part, and that's ultimately something that always brings me the most joy. There are some people that are very much more keen on the game design aspect or product, of course. So, you find your own little biases and you play into that strength. So the company really encourages that, so you can get mentored more in that aspect. And yeah, it's really great because you can become sort of a QA that is oriented towards that aspect. So again, some are more game design focused, some are more product focused, some are more technical, and you can really play into that strength. So it's really nice.
Sara, is it true that like gaming companies are more fun to work in than like traditional IT job, or is that just a myth?
I'm not sure. When I worked at other companies, it was very different for sure. I'm not in the position to say 100% yes, but yeah, I would say, especially at Outfit7, the culture is everything. Even when we hire people, we really, really, really want the best people to join us and to connect with us. It's not just what you can do, what you know, but who you are. So yeah, this is a big part of it, and the whole team, the whole company, I would say, is really friendly. You can talk to anyone. Anyone is ready to help you, and it's such a different way of working than what I was used to before. You are never alone. You always got help, and I know a lot of friendships are made at Outfit7. So yeah.
What would you say that it's like the top soft skill that you look in somebody when you're hiring for QA?
There are a couple of things. One would be that a person who wants to be a QA should be detail-oriented and meticulous. We are the last one in line to catch things, to catch bugs, and we cannot let them go. So that's one part. And the other is to be communicative, because you have to always go around, talk to other people, ask developer why this isn't working, or talk to UX, maybe we have another solution. So going around and not being afraid of stuff, that's also a big part. That's it, yeah.
Žiga, how you are now in two roles, right? You were QA and you were product manager, right? How do you see both roles? Is one more valuable than the other? Or do you find them that they are equal in kind of like value that they bring to the maybe game, to company?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I think they are, as far as the end product goes, they are equal, for sure. You know, it's just a different, from a different perspective. So QA is usually the one who comes to me and say, dude, this is not good for the user. We have bug here, bug there, you know. And I need to then basically decide if we're gonna go ahead and fix it based on, of course, based on the priorities that we have currently. So I would say, you know, it's like asking who is more essential for the project, for the game, right? Like, is it artist? Is it a developer? Is it a product manager? Is it producer? Is it you know, QA? You know, I would say they are all essential parts. And like Sara previously mentioned, it's really important as far as soft skills go, right? It's really important that you have this communication part nailed down, and that you are not afraid to speak to people. Even you know, we have a lot of, let's say, introverts, if I can label it like that, in the company. I would count myself among them. The older I get, the more I can feel this. But it's like, I think that Outfit7 is a really special place to work at, because everybody is very, very understandable. And this is also, it also has to do with the selection process of our candidates, right? We don't let just anybody come into the company, because you only need one dickhead to ruin the team. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's the team that produces the games, right? It's not one guy, it's not a product, it's not a QA, it's not a developer, it's a team effort.
Yeah, thank you. maybe like next topic for all of you three would be, where would you like to grow? Would you like to grow more in QA, or would you like to transition into different field? Yeah, where do you see yourself in maybe 5 years?
I actually just got this question very recently. I really like QA because it enables you to be a generalist. Of course, you never know. You can evolve. You can find that, I don't know, in 2 or 3 years, you might want to visit a different field. So it's really nice because you're supported in this. And we also spoke about the fact that by that time, when the, I don't know, 3, 4 years are over, you've actually learned so much that you can actually comfortably transition into another role. And you'll find your specialization throughout this journey eventually. So you either then stay as QA but focus more on those details, or you eventually transition to the different field. So I don't know, for myself, I really do enjoy it, being a QA, being able to explore maybe the more technical parts, but still doing this kind of general overview of the game. So for now, I'm happy where I am, but you never know. Maybe your expertise just grows so much that it makes sense to transition.
I'm also not sure. I know there are a lot of things I could do and could transition to, but I'm also really happy where I am right now. And in QA, I still have a lot to learn, a lot of new projects, roles to see. So maybe in 5 years I will still be QA, or maybe, I'm not sure, product management, whatever, something like that. But I really don't know.
I am currently happy where I am at now. I'm not gonna go back to QA. I'm not gonna go to legal. I'm not gonna go to art. But I've switched careers before, so let's see what happens in the next 5 years.
Maybe that's going to be more like a futuristic question. How do you see test automation and like more and more tools like automating this manual, like nitty-gritty process of like testing games? How do you see that having an impact on QA as a general, and maybe on a gaming industry also as a whole?
I mean, I know of games that have done fully automated testing, like Sea of Thieves, but I think they did ultimately have to bring in some manual testers as well. So for us, we still do manual testing. It's really hard to automate this anyway, because it's such a dynamic environment that every time something changes, you can't account for that detail. So it's still not so easy to automate gaming. You can automate some simpler aspects, or like UI, just simple clicks, nothing that changes too much, but I don't know. Actually, I wonder the same thing myself, like where will we go? I mean, there's obviously room for this, but for now, it's a little bit too much of a challenge to really do it like entirely, so.
Yeah, and it's also hard because, like I said, we give a lot of feedback, and we also have to QA part here is also to think how this game works. Is it fun? Why is it not fun? Or why is it? And that's hard to automate.
I think that the ladies explained this really well. I have nothing to add here.
How do you define fun? How do you know that this is fun? Like when you work on the game for like 1 year, 1 year and a half, like how do you know that it will still be fun for like a new user?
Well, we are always biased, like Petra said, but we also try, when someone new joins, we try to get a lot of feedback from them, and then we have testing sessions that are more like playing the games, not testing, but we play the game to maybe go into the direction, but it's hard. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe from product side, like how do you maybe define features, or like how do you know that this is gonna be fun thing.
So from product side, it's actually a bit more complex than that. We always need to be mindful of the market, of the target audience, and so on. You know, it's like I would be developing Dark Souls for kids. They're in preschool, that would not be the best fit, right?
Well, you never know, right?
We can try. But yeah, you always need to be mindful of many things before deciding on a feature. And also, when you do decide for a feature, it needs to be, you know, argumented really well why we want to implement it and go develop it and so on. And even after that, we need to find a way to actually, you know, discover the value of the feature, right? This is where, for example, user tests and QA and also our other colleagues in the company come really in handy, and especially analytics, because then we can actually benchmark what the feature did. Did it, you know, increase the retention, how is the usage, and so on. So it's quite complex, but it has a way of, you know, this interconnected web of design decisions. It has a way to so you kind of need to make it really clear to the whole team why this is the way to go, because, you know, it's not like from my side, from product side, it's like, hey, we're gonna do this in this feature. I need to also have in mind why, so the reasoning behind it, right? And how it's gonna look and so on and so on. And then basically our designers take over from there.
Maybe one memorable experience or moment like that really stuck with you, like in your maybe QA job.
So I haven't been at the company that long, so, you know, but I think I had this recent experience where it was like an epiphany almost, because we had this bug. I'm not going to go into detail, but it was just so similar to something I remember from speedruns I used to watch from Elden Ring, actually, like the zip glitch, where we had a thing where two animations synced up perfectly and then some chaos happened. And it was just this beautiful moment of how something comes together, you know. You remember yourself watching this stupid glitch like a year ago, and then you're suddenly finding something so similar, and it's like, aha, okay, I know where that time went now. So it was just that.
Žiga has a t-shirt with Mythic Legends logo, and we worked on this project together. And at some point, it was not a game for the kids, but more like older generation. And we had to be mindful of hackers, and we introduced a new feature, and we added a lot of gold, basically, to the e-apps. So when you bought an e-app for $100, you got 1 million coins, and we shipped this feature, but we forgot that we have a check for hackers, that if you have a lot of gold, suddenly you become a hacker. So when people bought e-app, so the thing we want them to do, they became hackers.
Yeah, you can imagine when I was told this, you can imagine how I felt on the inside. But you know, these are the things that happen in gaming, right? So I had two choices: go bananas, right, or just say, okay, guys, we fucked up, right? Let's try and fix it. And of course, QA took it over from there, and we fixed it. Right? It was a mistake that we did, one of many, by the way. And if you know what's happening in the industry and in gaming and so on, you've come through a lot of these cases, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's a fun story now. So.
Now we laughed at it, but when this happened, I had a mini heart attack.